Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and we have something today that I have been looking forward to ever since it was announced, because, again, if you're around my age, there was a show that was out, obviously called Dinosaurs, that you were probably a pretty big fan of if you've been a fan of dinosaurs since you were a kid. I absolutely adored this show. I would watch it all the time whenever I was growing up, and in fact, I can even remember when I was younger and we would actually go camping at this campground. We were lucky enough to actually have a TV in our camper that we had, and whenever we would go up on like Friday nights, I would like rush up, do whatever I had to do at the campsite, and then I would immediately go inside and start watching Dinosaurs every week because I had to watch the show and I never wanted to miss an episode. And I now have the seasons and everything of it as an adult, which I don't care. I will still watch till the day I die because I love the show. And we now have some absolutely epic figures out from the show, from Neca. We've got some of the Sinclair family, and obviously you can see the first one that I have here to take a look at is Baby Sinclair. And the box art looks really nice here. You can see we've got a gorgeous shot of the figure on the front. Over here on the side, we can see we've got a shot of the baby with a baseball bat. Looks like his bottle and everything right there. And then over here on the other side, again, the Dinosaurs logo, Baby Sinclair. Another shot, this time with the frying pan that he loves to hit his father with. And then on the back, you can see quite a few different things going on here when it comes to what he has included, as well as some information down here about the show and the figure and everything. And we also have Earl out, which for some reason my Earl has not arrived quite yet, but hopefully that will soon. And again, you can also actually see everything that's included, which is a ton of stuff, because in typical NECA fashion, you can open it up, and of course the glare is absolutely going to annihilate it, but there is a ton of stuff on the inside here included. So I'm pretty hyped to get this open. Actually, you can also see another image over there. But I'm pretty hyped to get this open and actually take a look at everything that is in fact included. So let's pop this out of the box and do just that. So as you can see, we now have the box open and everything kind of exposed here, which shows you a much better visual of everything that we do actually have included in this set, which there is a whole lot included in here. So I'm not going to take a look at it right now. I'm going to pop each piece out as we take a closer look, and we'll check it out with the closer look and then check everything out after that when it's all, again, sitting down here on our review station. So let's go ahead and jump straight to that closer look. So starting with our Baby Sinclair, you can see he looks really good, and I'm so used to NECA being so spot on with their sculpts and paint jobs, and I will say they've absolutely knocked this out of the park when it comes to the screen accuracy department. Like, that is probably the single most perfect representation, I think, of Baby Sinclair that I've ever seen, and the paintwork is super well done. Straight away you can see the eyes. The eyes actually look a little wonky, as one eye is down a little bit, one eye is up, but that's not something that wouldn't be unheard of for Baby Sinclair. And you can also see again that the paintwork is really nice. You can even see some slight alternate shading there around the mouth. We can see the inside of the mouth as well, and there's even a gloss coat there, even though it's actually really dark in there. We don't really have an articulated jaw or anything, so we can't really move the jaw to really see the detail or anything better, but you can see it kind of shining in there. We also can take note to the nostrils right there, and then as we turn around and we take a look at the back of the head, you can see we've got some of that alternate coloration, that kind of spotting and stuff that you see on Baby Sinclair. And then as you move down into the body, you can see that he's got a shirt on. It's that nice yellow shirt that we are, again, nice and used to seeing him wear. You've got all sorts of wrinkling and everything throughout the shirt, adding a little extra life to it. Same deal for the diaper, I guess you could say, that he's got on here. That as well as sculpted, nicely painted to perfection, no sloppiness at all. And again, you can see all the wrinkles and creases and stuff in that. On top of everything, we very much so have a very chubby appearance to our Baby Sinclair. You can see again that the arms look really good. They also have the fingernails painted, which you can see there is actually a little sloppiness right there. Some yellow paint from the shirt, I guess, has run onto the finger, which is not something I'm used to from NECA, but You can see again the nails are painted, the fingers look good as far as the sculpting goes. You can even see kind of like skin folding in his chubby little hand there, depending on the positioning of the fingers. We've got the belly hanging out, and also again the very, very chunky legs as you move down. Of course, we've got the toes sculpted out, and again the nails are painted on the toes. And we also, of course, have the tail sculpted out, and as you can see, it comes out and then leads up in a nice little turn. We do have articulation in the neck, which you can turn that neck completely around. You can completely swivel it. The neck also kind of goes up and down a little bit, so you do have that extra mobility. The arms, of course, can swivel, and they also go forward and back. Same deal with the wrists right here. It's a little bit tight, but you can see the joint is there for it to kind of move forward and back. There we go. Now we've got it, so we can move the wrist forward and back, and then again swivel, just like everything else. We also have, again, the leg articulation, where it can swivel right here. It can also go up and down. Get a better side profile here. You can see how it can go up and down. Of course, this is straight out of the package, so a lot of the joints might be a little stiff. Same deal with the knee. Go straight out. Can bend and also swivel, and then the same deal for the ankle. Again, all over the place you can go with the articulation of our baby Sinclair. And then of course we also have the tail, which can go up, down, left, right, and again swivel. So all the usual articulation you would expect for something like this. And again, when it comes to the likeness of baby Sinclair, I think they did a great job. On top of the head sculpt that we were just taking a look at, we do also have the unicorn look for our baby Sinclair, if you remember that occurring in the one episode. So you again have that aspect to him. You can also see that the horn is painted with a nice sort of a gold coloration, and it shines quite nicely. So that is a really cool addition. Honestly, when it comes to baby Sinclair, I think they honestly captured everything that you could possibly want for a figure of him. You're going to hear the plastic crinkling in the background as I go ahead and pull these out. But we have some of his toys here. We've got the little sauropod. You can see that the spikes moving along the back are different colors. We have the yellow coloration again, and then the eyes painted. You're not going to find much when it comes to detail and stuff for these because you're not really meant to, but they look cool. We've also got this little guy here that almost looks like a little Godzilla figure rather than a dinosaur, really. But he as well looks quite adorable. Again, the eyes are painted, but you can even see that there's like a purple around the eyes. I just love how, actually you can even see the tongue painted on the inside of the mouth, but I just love how much effort Neca puts into their releases. And again, they don't ever have laziness or anything, or at least not that I've encountered so far. So he's really good as well. And then there's also the little Ankylosaurus, which is probably the coolest of his dinosaur toys. You can see the coloration looks really neat, as well as the paintwork here of the armored area is also really well done. I would love to see NECA take a stab at more realistic dinosaurs and stuff. Man, would that be cool. Like if they could just get the license for even Jurassic Park or something like that and produce some dinosaur figures like that. I can't even begin to imagine how cool that would be, but you can see the Ankylosaurus toy as well. Looks pretty adorable. There is also the baby blanket. Now, this doesn't actually like do anything. You can see it's kind of like a harder material, so I almost dropped it. So you can't really like open it or use it for much outside of just for display, but it is again sculpted pretty decently, painted basically with a gray and then dry brushed over with a lighter tone, but I think it looks pretty good overall, not too bad. We've also got the spoon here that you will from time to time see him playing with, and that as well looks pretty good. It actually looks almost identical to a spoon that I have in my house. But again, that is pretty nicely done, also nicely painted. Same deal for the baseball bat. You can see the baseball bat also looks really good. Again, the fine detail on it looks nice. The coloration is really well done. Some darker browns down here. So again, the bat looks very nice. We as well have the slingshot, and that again looks really good. You're going to see a little bit of a variation of color. We've got like browns and greens within the course of the slingshot. And again, it's not really like articulated or anything, it's just of course a fun little accessory. We've also got the baby bottle here, which there's not a whole lot to, but looks pretty fun, as well as the TV remote, and that has a nice silver appearance to it. Again, the black buttons, not again a whole lot to it, but looks definitely like the remote from the show, as well as the frying pan here, which also looks very good. Again, like I said, pretty much every and any extra you could possibly want for this figure, it's included. All the way down to having a bowl. And again, even the bowl is really highly detailed. They do not skimp out anywhere. We've also got our little caveman cookie here, which you can see looks pretty good. And is again painted really nice. Like, look at how tiny the details are on that and how impressively well done and precise that paintwork is. On top of that, we also have the cookie creature, and look at how disturbing he is. But I was so surprised to see that this one was actually included in this set. I don't know why, I just didn't expect that they would capture everything that you would want to see with a Baby Sinclair release, but super happy to see this guy in here, and he as well looks fantastic. Looks just like he does in the show, and again, quite a bit of paintwork to him. For so tiny, this figure is really small, and Neca did a great job of sculpting out not only his fine detail, but the paintwork again as well. Really nicely done. No articulation or anything like that, but he's just a really tiny little accessory to have in this set. We're nearing the end here. We also have Georgie the hippo here, and you can see also really nicely done. You can see that the paintwork is perfectly applied. Again, like I said, they just don't skimp out anywhere. Like, to see this much paintwork even on a little random accessory. The insides of the ears are painted, the teeth and the inside of the mouth are painted, the eyes, of course, the fingernails, the toenails, and then the coloration moving through the course of the figure. It is all so well done. Neca honestly does such a great job, and considering the price point of a lot of their figures, it's just very impressive to me again that they put so much into these releases. And then on top of that, we also have alternate hands for our Baby Sinclair, which I'm not really going to mess with, but you can switch out the hands for the different versions, just slightly different positioning for the fingers and stuff like that. And the final piece of the puzzle would be the high chair that you often, or like almost always, see Baby Sinclair sitting in, and that as well, again, is really well done. Definitely has a very nice high quality feel, very nice high quality appearance, looks about as perfect as it can get, even textured exactly as it looks in the show, and painted perfectly, again kind of giving it that slightly sort of weathered kind of dirty look, exactly the type of thing that you would expect to see when it comes to a family of dinosaurs and you know, the stuff that they would have in their house. But I think it looks great, and I'm actually pretty hyped to get Baby Sinclair in the high chair and see him for the first time in it, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, in order to get Baby Sinclair in here, I actually took the tail off at first because I didn't quite realize that you could disassemble the chair, but we now have the chair, in fact, disassembled, so we're going to go ahead and put his hands up, and then we'll bring the piece back in. There's like some little peg holes on the underside that you would want to put in here. So we line those back up, push it back down, and then we have those back where they need to be. Yeah, so then there we go, and we'll just go ahead and put the tail back on here in the back. And there we go. Baby Sinclair now in all of his little glory in his chair, looking absolutely awesome. And of course, all of the extras down here, which there is a ton of stuff. As far as a size goes, actually, let's get the hippo over here too. But as far as a size goes, I don't really know what the best way would be to measure him, because he's such an awkwardly shaped figure and such an awkwardly shaped dinosaur. I don't really know what the best way would be to go about it. I guess we could just maybe go for a length at least. So we'll just measure him while he's in his chair for a length from his foot there to the tail, about 4¼ inches or around 11 centimeters. And then if we go from the underside of his behind to the top of his head, a little over 2 inches or a little over 5 centimeters. So I don't really know how else really to measure him because he, again, is so awkwardly shaped, but for a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect A human being hiding down there amongst all of his extras. You almost don't even notice them. But next to our Baby Sinclair, and I honestly don't know that we really need a lot of comparisons this time around because I don't know what would compare well with him. It's just like there's not really much out there as far as these figures, and I don't have the actual baby toy that was released so many years ago, unfortunately. Something I've considered trying to get a hold of for quite some time, but I don't have it right now. I do have the Earl, but I don't really think they'd size up correctly with each other, but we'll just go ahead and bring it in and give it a shot. So there is the older Earl figure that was released a long time ago. In fact, I've had this figure since I was a kid, which is why it looks so old and beat up. It definitely looks like it needs a bath. I actually only recently recovered this probably a few months ago from my parents' house, and I just really have not had time to get them cleaned up or anything. But you can see what the older figure looks like next to the brand new baby from Neca, if you happen to have that older release. So this brand new Neca baby Sinclair Dinosaurs figure is fantastic. Honestly, it's even better in person than I expected it to be. I didn't really expect much articulation on the figure because, again, he's like in a high chair all the time and he doesn't really get, around too much, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the amount of articulation they did include. I think they really did give you about as much as you could possibly ask for outside of the, lack of a articulated jaw. I think they could have potentially given us an articulated jaw, but unfortunately it does not have it, and if it does, it kind of looks like it should, but it doesn't seem to be moving as far as mine goes. But again, when it comes to the overall appearance of baby Sinclair, they absolutely nailed it 100%. It looks exactly like him, pretty much like they pulled baby Sinclair straight out of the Dinosaurs show and then threw him right here on my review station, obviously at a much smaller size, capturing every ounce of detail perfectly as well as every ounce of paintwork perfectly. It really is the ultimate, I would say, when it comes to a baby Sinclair figure. Not that there's all that many out there to choose from, but this really is about as nice as it could possibly get, and the high chair looks great. Again, the entire thing, I could just imagine the super cool dino toy, I guess you could say, photography and stuff you could take with this figure. Like, you could probably, if you had the nice correct type of backdrop, you could really create some images and stuff that looks exactly like the show, and potentially even stop motion if you really wanted to go crazy with the figure. On top of that, it has a plethora of extras. There is just so much stuff. Again, way more than I was expecting, and when I had actually opened it, when I first got it in the mail and I had taken a look at everything that was inside, I was blown away by the amount of extras included in this, because there is just a ton of stuff. And of course, the inclusion of the extra hands and stuff is a fun little addition, as well as the alternate head, so that you can get that unicorn look for him. You've got all the toys, all the weapons of destruction that you can use to abuse Earl, and on top of that, even down to the cookie creature, which again is, in my opinion, like the icing on the cake for this set. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to where I purchased mine on Big Bad Toy Store, which I do believe, again, this should be in stock right now as mine recently shipped. So make sure you check that link, go grab this epic figure, and also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.